Fallout 3 is the game that saved Fallout, but it is also the game that broke what Fallout used to be. You see, recently I've been playing through Fallout 3 and it has been a blast. I mean, check this shit out. What the fuck? But there have also been some very glaring issues with the game.
Ah, worker. Yeah, I just seen where my fucking karma slightly went down. There's too many workers here, dude.
And after taking all this into account, it led me to ask the question, does Fallout 3 still hold up in 2026? Before we get into the video, I'll quickly explain my criteria. Spoiler alert, it's the exact same one from the Fallout 4 video. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. But in case you haven't seen the video, I will reiterate the criteria real quick. We're going to be taking a look at the atmosphere of the game, how does the game look, how does it present itself, story, how good's the main story, characters, how good or bad are the characters, and the mechanics. How well do the game's functions actually function? Also, sidebar. The review today will be just the base game of Fallout 3. If you guys would be interested in seeing just a video on the DLCs of Fallout 3 alone, I would be more than happy to do that. But that's why I'm relying on you guys to comment if you want to see that. But without further ado, and without holding you up anymore, let's get into the video. Let's first start by taking a look at the atmosphere of Fallout 3. I want to first start this section off by saying I love the atmosphere of Fallout 3. I truly do believe no other game in the series truly captures the feeling of walking into the wasteland for the first time quite like Fallout 3. At the beginning of the game, it seems like everything is so barren and hard to come by. You are quite literally looting every single body you come across. I'm quite literally willing to sell a fucking limb for some 5.56 around here. Come on, Fallout 3. And now, we can't go much further without talking about the controversial piss green filter. This sort of green you always see on your screen is something that has split fans of Fallout 3 for years. Believe me, as somebody who has just recently started playing the game, those Reddits are split. But I gotta say, I personally love the piss green. The green filter the game gives the capital wasteland truly makes it feel like an apocalyptic environment. Now yes, there are comically green areas in the map. But fuck it, dog. I'm willing to trade that off for this beautiful atmosphere we get instead. If you aren't, go fucking eat a brick, I don't know. Lastly, I truly love the destruction of Washington, D.C. I mean, good God, they bombed the hell out of this place. But it plays to the strengths of Fallout 3 in truly making this feel apocalyptic. Everything is destroyed, and good God, I mean damn near everything.
Alright, so, where's the White House? Oh, this is the White House.
I was actually truly surprised at how much of your travel takes place in the subway systems if you're not using fast travel. Because Washington, D.C. has been so mutilated, it gives this game an unbelievable vibe. And truly, I really have nothing bad to say about the atmosphere of Fallout 3. I truly enjoyed my experience playing this game, and a lot of it was due to the world and the world building. Also, shout out Megaton.
You don't do that again.
Them old Century Bucks look so much
Okay.
better. Oh Lord.
Also, shout out Rivet City, a city on a boat, or a city made in a boat. I don't fucking know. Rivet City, look it up. Alrighty, I know this video is going to be long as hell, so let's just go ahead and get to the next section. Before we get into this section, I'm going to give you a simple rundown of Fallout 3's story. Fallout 3 starts with you growing up in a vault with your dad. Wham, Papa. Wham. Also, it should be noted that your mother died during childbirth. Oh, that's not as fun. You're consistently told during your childhood that no one ever leaves the vault until your dad leaves the vault. Yep, one day when you're 19 years old, your dad just wakes up and decides to run out of the vault. It is here that the beginning of Fallout 3's story is told. Your main goal is to find your father. You eventually find your dad in Vault 112. This is the famous Tranquility Lane mission. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you have not played this mission, it is 100% iconic for a reason. Highly recommend. Anyways, after finding your father, you bring him back to Rivet City, where he eventually tells you that you did not grow up in a vault. It's kind of hinted at towards the whole entire leading up to this point. Well, not really hinted at, explicitly told, just you get the most details here after your father's released. We'll put it that way. Anyways, to make a long story as short as possible, your father is working on a water purifier until BAM! The Enclave shows up.
The facility is now under United States government control. The person in charge is to step forward immediately and turn over all materials related to this project.
That's quite impossible. This is a private project. The Enclave has no authority here. I'm going to have to ask you to leave at once.
Am I to assume, sir, that you are in charge?
Yes, I'm responsible for this project.
Then I repeat, sir, that you are hereby instructed to immediately hand over all materials related to the purifier.
I'm sorry, but that's...
Furthermore, you are to assist Enclave scientists in assuming control of the administration and operation of this facility at once.
Colonel. Is it, Colonel? I'm sorry, but the facility is not operational. It never has been. I'm afraid you're wasting your time here.
Sir, this is the last time I am going to repeat myself. Stand down at once and turn over control of this facility.
Colonel, I assure you that this facility will not function. We have never been able to successfully replicate test results.
Yes, you comply immediately, sir, in order to prevent any more incidents. Are we clear?
Yes, Colonel. Do whatever you want. There's no need for more violence.
Then you will immediately hand over all materials related to this project and aid us in making it operational at once.
Very well. In a few moments to bring the system online.
Enough of these delays.
Nearly finished. Run. Run!
At this point, you work on finishing the project your father started until BAM! The Enclave's back again.
Objective is secured, sir.
Good work, soldier. Make sure the Gek is secured aboard my vertibird.
And it is at this point you've essentially battled the last of the Enclave before you are faced with a final decision. The radiation is too high in the control room of Project Purity, but someone has to turn it on. It is at this point that the player must decide whether they sacrifice themselves to turn it on or not. And there's the story. Now, after I told that to you, I want to follow that up with go ahead and saying Fallout 3's story is one of its biggest flaws. The first question we're going to ask are, why the hell is the Enclave here? We blow the bastards up in Fallout 2, and it just doesn't make much sense to me to bring them back here. And to be completely honest with the audience here, it is simply just a placeholder bad guy for Bethesda to throw in place of anything else. And again, no shade to Bethesda there. I'm not aware of their time constraints or anything on developing the game, but the Enclave definitely falls flat in this game, no matter how you slice it. They just come off as very weak. And I mean, they just kind of barge in the middle of the game, out of nowhere. Yeah, they're sort of hinted at the beginning of the game by citizens of the Capital Wasteland, but they just barge the fuck in, out of nowhere. And how am I supposed to hate something that I legitimately spend 10 minutes of dialogue time with? Truly, Colonel Autumn and President Eden are such wasted potential. And trust me, we'll get to that in the character section. But just know, I had more interactions with the scrap metal guy in Megaton than I had with Colonel Autumn or President Eden combined. That's just not how you write a villain, Bethesda. I do have to say though, I thoroughly enjoy the beginning of this game. Being a kid raised in a vault is one of the most fun experiences in a Fallout, and if you haven't played through it, I highly recommend it. It is very fun and pretty funny to see what life in a vault is actually like. And lastly, the ending to this game before the Broken Steel DLC was horrible. So before the Broken Steel DLC and your character sacrificed himself, the game just ended. Like, your character truly sacrificed himself, and the game just ended. And that was terrible for players at the time. Of course, me, playing the game recently, I didn't have that problem. But to be a player in 2008 and that be the ending I get, I would be fucking livid. And honestly, while we're on the subject, Broken Steel doesn't make the ending much better. Yeah, sure, you live and the max level is raised to 30, but the story of Broken Steel just kind of falls flat, and even the ending shocked me because I was actually in Discord at the time with a bunch of my friends streaming the game, and when it ended, I actually said out loud, that was the ending? Yeah, so the story of Fallout 3 just really falls flat, and it is one of the biggest flaws of the game. They had so much potential with the story, and they did kind of waste it. Let's just go ahead and go to the next section. Next, let's talk about the characters of Fallout 3. And genuinely, I don't really know how I feel. Like, some of these characters are awesome, and some of them are horrible. On one hand, I love side characters like Fox and Dr. Zimmerman. Fox being an intelligent super mutant we find in Vault 87. The vault where the Vault Dwellers were tested with FEV. Most turning into super mutants and centaurs. And Dr. Zimmerman. Dr. Zimmerman is a side character in Fallout 3 that we can find in Rivet City Labs. Dr. Zimmerman is from the Commonwealth and can tell us a lot about the Commonwealth. So, in 2008, he actually gives us a lot of insight and setup for Fallout 4.
You see, in the Commonwealth, we've made artificial persons, synthetic humanoids, programmed to think and feel and do whatever we need. And occasionally, they get confused and wander off. The Commonwealth itself is nothing but a war-ravaged quagmire of violence and despair. Inside the sealed environment of the Institute, however. But the Institute's affairs are none of your concern. Your undeveloped mind couldn't even begin to comprehend what we've accomplished.
He actually tasks us with finding one of his synthetic humans at Rivet City. But on the other side of that character coin, if you will, there's some bad characters. Characters like Colonel Autumn feel rushed and unwritten. He seems shallow for a guy that has potential to be a very deep and cool villain for the Fallout series. And President Eden is also wasted potential. You can literally get him to kill himself in the first conversation with him. President Eden, along with Colonel Autumn, just lack depth. I mean, you literally have one conversation with President Eden, or at least I did in my playthrough. In my first conversation with the dude, I convinced him to kill everyone in Raven Rock along with himself. Yeah, as cool as that is, it's weird that we only get one interaction with President Eden. Again, this simply just comes down to bad character writing and lack of depth. An example is that Colonel Autumn and President Eden on paper and in concept are a great idea, but in execution... Another example is that our dad, who is supposed to be this intelligent guy, is a fucking dipshit. Dude, the project's been over for years. Give it up. The guy literally had it made in a vault, and he decides to run out to finish a project he had years ago. Dude, give up. It's okay. Hey, guess we need a story, I guess.
Let's just finish the video.
I want to start the section off by telling the audience that the mechanics in Fallout 3 are more similar to New Vegas than they are in Fallout 4. But first, let's talk about the negatives of the mechanics. The game has no ADS, and of course, no sprint like New Vegas, but the no ADS kind of blows in my opinion. Yes, it does certainly give VATS more of an importance in this game, but I would much rather just be able to aim down sight. And I know you're seeing me aim down sight in some of this gameplay. It's simply because I have a mod installed, I'm not gonna lie. The next thing I want to talk about is less of a negative and more so a I don't really know how I feel about it situation. And that mechanic being the repair system in Fallout 3. On one hand, it is a brutal system in Fallout 3. There is absolutely no way to 100% repair your weapon in this game unless your A, repair skill is at 100% and you find a gun that's like the gun you have, so no alien blaster repairs here. Or wait until you beat the Mothership Zeta DLC, which is no pushover, let me tell you.
Dude, oh, fuck it. Shit, I'm scared.
And then you meet Shana, I can't remember. And then you unlock her repair skill, which is at 100% and she can repair your items. And yes, while all of that does suck, that's only 50% of it in my opinion. because the other percent gives such an importance to the repair skill and again adds to the post-apocalyptic feel of this world. Like all of my guns being damaged and broken and having to go into battle with them just makes it 10 times more tense and scary. Whereas in Fallout 4 or New Vegas, most of my guns are at 100% and I don't have that tense feeling. Moving on to the positives I feel about the mechanics. This next part is less of a mechanic actually, but I just love the scarcity of ammo and just supplies in the beginning of the game. Also, no voice protagonist. Clap it up. Thank you. And lastly, I just want to talk about how earlier I said that the mechanics in this game were very similar to New Vegas more so than Fallout 4. While yes, I still stand by that statement, I think both games' mechanics give you such a different experience. In New Vegas, it's more of a party. Every time you head into a fight in New Vegas, in my opinion, you feel like the badass wastelander that you are. Or so as in Fallout 3, you truly feel like a wastelander that has nothing. So yeah, the game mechanics are pretty awesome. You know, some bad, some good, but more so good in my opinion. I think this game functions very nicely, even in the year of 2026. Trust me. Heading into this game, I was expecting some poo-poo. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I expected the game to be somewhat good, but like not as good as everybody kept saying it was. But no, the mechanics hold up, I promise. Alright, let's wrap this up. In conclusion, Fallout 3 is one of the most revolutionary and innovative games of all time. And yes, I'm sure you expected to hear that, but I'll delve a little deeper for you. Fallout 3 saved the Fallout franchise as we know it. This series, after Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, was pretty much in the dumps. Yes, I know about Van Buren and I know about the potential of that game, but let's face it, with Interplay's infrastructure collapsing below them, we all know the game's marketing would have failed it. But Fallout 3 stepped in and revitalized and saved the franchise. Also, I failed to mention in that sentence, modernized the franchise. Turning it into an FPS, the first in the series, and truly making it feel like a Fallout game. But it is also here that we see the blueprint for what Bethesda would start following out in future games, which is prioritizing atmosphere over storytelling. Let's take a look at Fallout 4. The world of Fallout 4 is amazing and gorgeous. There are so many places to explore and satisfy your Fallout lore curiosity. But the story and story to a lot of these side quests are just weak in general. And the same can pretty much be said about Fallout 3. Yes, there are some memorable side missions in this game, such as the Cannibal mission. A mission where you meet a family who traps people in their little small town just to eat them. But it is also obvious that the game prioritizes its atmosphere and environmental storytelling over its main story. The main story of Fallout 3 is weak, whereas the atmosphere and environmental storytelling is amazing. And that is the blueprint Bethesda continues to follow to this day. So, in conclusion, Fallout 3 is an amazing game. Highly recommend it. Because not only are you going to have a great time, but you're also going to get an insight to the blueprint that Bethesda still follows to this day in the creation of its games. Hey, before I let you go, I sent Fox in instead of sacrificing myself in the end. You're welcome.